Welcome again, guys. Welcome to another session of Soma's Biology Lectures. And in this video, we'll be talking a little bit about plant hormones. And plant hormones are very important topic for many different aspects of questions coming from plant hormones in different competitive exams like CSI NET and UGC NET, GATE, and other regions. So I majorly focus on those exams to talk about plant hormones, particularly in this particular video, because I have other videos on plant hormones where I have talked before each of those hormones independently in different videos. But in this video, majorly we'll be talking about all of them together to talk about a little bit. So here you can see the thing you need to know about the plant hormones are the name of the hormones, the major plant hormones that are present. They are precursors, that means from which particles or from which materials they are being produced. Majorly plant hormones are produced from amino acid derivatives or nucleic acid derivatives. So we'll be seeing those derivatives as precursor, and finally we'll be talking about the function of all those plant hormones, some very special functions of those hormones. So in a nutshell overview actually. Now in this video, now let's say that the 5 major plant hormones that usually we talk about are auxin, gibberellin, cytokinins, ethylene, and abscisic acid. Now starts with auxin. Auxin is having a precursor of amino acid, and that is tryptophan. So from tryptophan auxin is produced. Now this auxin is having some important function, like the major functionality of auxin is the apical dominance of the plant. Auxin is generally synthesized by both the tip of the plant, that is the tip of the shoot as well as tip of the root. Though the production of auxin is more in the tip of the shoot rather than the tip of the root, but what happens actually, auxin helps the cell to divide, and as a result it helps in cell elongation. Why and how? It deposits carbon dioxide and dissolves carbon dioxide inside the cell so that those cells become larger and longer with time. Other other functions of auxin are it helps the plant in the geotropism as well as the phototropism. That is another very important function of auxin. Now if you look, auxin can be synthesized chemically. They are called the synthetic auxins. Example of synthetic auxins are naphthalene acetic acid, NAA, or methoxyacetic acid. So examples are there. So that's part of the auxin actually. Second thing is the gibberellin. Auxin helps in growth majorly. Gibberellin is the second hormone which is also important, and the precursor for gibberellin is acetyl-CoA. We all know what acetyl-CoA is, right? So gibberellin in this sense actually helps in revealing the dormancy of plant seeds. So help the dormancy to come out and help the plant, the sibling to come out from the seed. That is very important task for gibberellin inside. And what it does actually, gibberellin also increases the internodal length of the plant. That means auxin helps the tree to grow along, but along with gibberellin to act at that particular work or during the development of plant and growth of the plant, it helps in the development of plant in the internodal region. And what is the internodal region? If I draw here, say this is the plant and it is growing. Internodal region means, suppose these are the two nodes of the plant. In between, this is the section. This complete section will be termed as internodal because in between the nodes, and that thing is not provided by auxin, because auxin only helps in development in the shoot tip and root tip because it is secreted from the tip part only. On the other hand, gibberellin help in this elongation of the internodal part, and also the major effect is breaking down the dormancy to come that siblings out from the situation, right? And also sometimes helps in little bit of flowering purpose too. Third is the cytokinins. As the term suggests, cyto means cells obviously. Cytokinins are helping in the development and cell division in plant. Actually auxin helps in elongation, deposition of carbohydrates, elongation of the cell. Cytokinin helps in cell division. Actually auxin and cytokinin in many ways are working together in plant cell to give the plant, to raise the plant from the sibling type. So it is raising the plant very well. It is helping in the growth of the plant. And in cytokinin, the precursor for cytokinin is purine of tRNA. So it's nucleic acid kind. So purine is particularly precursor for cytokinin there. And also cytokinins help in cell division, cell growth. Sometimes it helps in the cell elongation too. Now majorly they are working together with auxin or combining with auxin. Fourth is the ethylene. Now ethylene is having the precursor of methionine, which is an amino acid, we know all. Methionine is producing ethylene. And ethylene is a hormone that is usually required for the plant to be, you know, ripen the foods, right? Because ethylene actually secreted at the end point of the plant. If we look at from the growth of the plant, ethylene comes at the end of the situation where they have you know, produced the food there. Ethylene ripe those foods, help in ripening, and also ethylene helps in, you know, abscission of the plant, that is the senescence of the plant, because that's the end point of the plant. And also ethylene helps in you know, I mean, all those senescence parts and leaving all those leaves are coming out of the leaves and all these things, part of this ethylene effect. Fifth one is the abscisic acid, and the precursor is violaxethine. Violaxethine is actually a type of xanthophyll that is present in the, you know, xanthoplast in the plant cell. Actually it's a kind of you know, not, it's a kind of plastid that is present in plant cells. So from that violaxethine is produced, and from violaxethine abscisic acids are produced. Now abscisic acid, as you know, it helps in abscission, and this is the abscisic acid which helps in production of abscission layer in the plant, so that all those leaves are coming out and falling off leaf and all these things start to occur. So abscisic acid and ethylene kind of relatable in the play, and also ethylene and abscisic acid, they suppress the dormancy. I mean, they helps in the dormancy. They help in the dormancy of the bud, they help in the dormancy of flowering and all these things, because some of them actually help, you know, abscisic acid, ethylene especially help in the dormancy of flower bud. As a result, in winter the flowers don't bud in that particular condition, and that's because of ethylene. So these are among the functionality of the major hormones. I forgot to mention certain more, like the gibberellin is having a very important function of parthenocarpy. And what parthenocarpy means, actually gibberellin also helps in the growth of the fruits. I mean, it increases the fruit in higher amount. That's why nowadays we use many of the synthetic hormones to treat those plants, so that we get better and bigger fruit, we get taller plants, and we get quicker ripening of the fruit using ethylene. So these are the sequential events. Now actually, if you look at the sequential events of the from the development of the plant, at the very beginning of the plant, the hormones that came to play is gibberellin, because they you know, break down the dormancy, so the seedling comes out. Then finally auxin start to play from both of the top of the shoot and the root. So this is coming first, coming second. Cytokinins are also coming together along with auxin, so kind of two for both of them, because they are acting simultaneously. After that, once the plant reaches a particular point, once they produce the food, then ethylene comes in play. Then because ethylene actually ripens the food and suppression of the increment of the dormancy there. And finally the fourth is abscisic acid, which causes abscission and turn it into the senescence, and plant ultimately will die. So you can see here the sequential events are also related, and they are modulated with this hormone activity. Hormones are very, very important in plant and as well as in our body, but these are kind of thing that you need to know for all those exams. I hope that's helpful. Thank you.